Hey everyone, today I'm making a video on this instrument here, the contrabass trombone. These aren't super common, so there's not too many videos out there about them, but I thought I had just recently gotten this, figured I'd make a little video about it, give you some information, how it plays, a little bit of history. So let's get started with just an overview of this particular one. So this one I have here is in the key of F, with the valves, first valve putting it into D. The second one is low B flat, and then together they produce about an A flat, like a pedal A flat, but it's a little out of tune. So the make of this one is JinBao, which, if you know them, they make Chinese manufacturers, they make Chinese horns, and not the best quality, but for something that's not as common or can be more expensive, such as contrabasses, it's a good option just to get started and see what it's all about. So the construction is pretty solid. Actually, I was kind of surprised. All of the braces and everything seem really rigid. It's sturdily built, which is good for such a large instrument. You need it to be pretty hefty, pretty solid, so that you can, you pick it up, doesn't crumple under its own weight, things like that. So the slide, starting at the receiver, it has a sort of adapter or lead pipe sort of deal that puts it to be able to receive bass trombone mouthpieces. So bass trombone shank, and if you take that out, it's just a tuba shank. So you can put a tuba mouthpiece in there, or put this lead pipe in and be able to play a bass trombone mouthpiece. I've got my Doug Yao on there right now, just because it's the largest bass trombone mouthpiece I had, and it seems to play well with the horn. I did try the tuba mouthpiece, but either mine is just too large or it just didn't fit well with the instrument. I found it kind of hard to play. It didn't sound quite right. So I'm sticking with this one for now until I get a regular contrabass mouthpiece. The slide is a bit longer than normal. You can see it's pretty long, much longer than a normal trombone slide would be. And then coming around here, the valve section, they are Hagman valves. They're not official Hagman valves. They're just made by JinBao, but Hagman styled valves. And here, the first one putting in D, if you can see, it comes outwards, loops around here, comes back into this first valve here. And then the second one is much, much bigger. Stands about the whole length of the bell, all the way down here, up through here, back down to the second valve. The second button being on the finger there. And then the bell, about 11 inches. It's pretty large. You can see it's big, which goes well with a big instrument. So a little bit of history about these horns. They started off in the key of F, made around the 1800s or so. They started off in the key of F with a handle on the slide so that you could reach longer positions. Since they were just one big trombone, they just made it a little bit longer, regular straight trombone, no valves or anything. And they just made them in lower pitches, such as also E flat, D, things like that, to reach those lower notes. And eventually, they invented the double slide, low B flat contrabass, which just had the slide looped in around on itself twice, so that it had 4 tubes and was half the length, which made it easier to reach the lower positions without much trouble. So those became a bit more popular later on, and then they started adding valves to them, which helped to reach the lower notes as it does on tenor and basses. Same concept, reaching lower notes, not going as far. So it really extended the range, made it a bit more popular, easier to play. And then they, of course, expanded the bore and the bell, all that, to make it more of a distinct instrument from the others. Actually, if you want an example of one of the more modern low B flat basses, check out Trent Hamilton's video. He did one on the bass contrabass that he has. I'll try and link it down in the description, but he's got a pretty interesting story on that one. So as for how this thing plays, obviously being a bit less expensive, I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but it plays really well for what it is. It plays pretty open in open register, regular slide notes, no triggers or anything. It's big, loud. I mean, you can push this thing to way beyond for decent mode, just crazy sound, which is great. I'm planning to use this a bit for pep band and brass ensemble, so I'll need that volume. And then with the trigger, the D trigger, it's pretty good, pretty open. I can hit some of the lower notes easily. But then with the B flat valve, since it is a lot longer, a lot more tubing to push through, it's a bit harder. So especially hitting some of the lower notes like, you know, pedal B flat, pedal A, doesn't come out quite as well. That might be fixed with a proper mouthpiece, but I have yet to get one. And then of course both triggers is just super hard, but once you cross that interval and get down to pedal F, you know, the fundamental, so open again, it can blast right away back at it, which is really awesome. It can get crazy loud, you know, like shaking rafters kind of thing. But other than that, it's just a fun thing to play, more of a, you know, a little bit more of a toy right now than a real instrument that I'd be using on the daily. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned a little something new about a bit of a rare instrument in the contrabass trombone. Let me know if you want to see some reviews or overviews of some of the other instruments I've got. I've got whole bunches of them I'd love to show off. And be sure to leave a comment with that and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Thanks.